Hello, so I want to take a look at the issue of the shotgun's hipfire reticle and its hit markers, neither of which really tell you what is going on with the shot you've just taken. The circular reticle doesn't represent where your pellets are going to go, and the hit marker doesn't tell you how many pellets have actually hit and where they've hit. It really doesn't tell you anything. And when I was recently doing a video on shotguns, I thought of a couple of ideas of how you could fix them, but it's hard to explain, so I've had to use my not very good graphic skills to try and represent them on screen, because shotguns as they are at the moment are just too random. I'm going to try and see when the pellet spread actually matches the circle you get for the hipfire reticle. 25 meters it doesn't, moving forward by half the distance each time, so 12.5 meters still doesn't match, then to about 7 meters, and you have to get to about 5 meters before the spread of the pellets matches that circle. So the circle doesn't really represent anything to do with the gun's spread unless you're really close range. And that's because the spread of each individual pellet is random. There's no order to the way a shotgun fires, and so you don't get a good grouping unless you're really close. And it's the same problem for hit markers. There's no real distinction in between all your pellets hitting a target or just one hitting a target. And when you get a headshot indicator, that also can be every pellet hitting them in the head or just one hitting them in the head. Either shotguns have to be much less random, or the HUD needs improving to tell you what actually happened. So if you're not going to fix the random nature of shotguns, how do you make it so that the HUD represents that randomness? Because all we have at the moment is a green circle that doesn't show where the shots are going, and a hit marker that doesn't show you how you actually hit them. The shotgun's hipfire reticle is by far the easiest fix, and all I do is stick a smaller circle that shows you where the middle of the big circle is. It doesn't affect the look or style of the reticle, but it does give you a better idea of where your shotgun is actually pointing. The hit markers is more complicated. That simple white X really doesn't do the job when it comes to shotguns. My idea is to take those 4 elements and turn them into a circle. That matches the shotgun aesthetic, and then use those 4 parts to show the percentage of pellets that actually hit. So if up to 25% of the pellets hit, you'd get 1 segment. If 50% hit, you'd get 2, up to 75, 3, and 76 to 100% would get you 4. You'd also have the different colour for the headshots. Now the bottom line, I'm not sure if it's possible, but it is an interesting option. So take the one that's got 1 orange section and 2 white sections. What's that showing you is that a third of the shots that hit in the head. So rather than what the current reticle does, which is just tell you you got a headshot even if only 1 pellet hit them in the head, this would give you a better idea of where your pellets actually went. Now this would be a lot of work to implement, and could they put it into Battlefield 4? I don't know. But for future battlefields, surely this is a much better way of representing how a shotgun shoots. Right, so I'm on the test zone of the CTE servers because those targets now give you hit markers. So we can fire a few shots with a shotgun and see how it works. Basically, you've got the round green reticle, you get an X if one of your pellets hits the target. If I put a very rough mock-up of my HUD over the top, this is what you get. You've got this central spot, but you've also got the white ring hit markers, which show you a bit more detail as to what's going on with the shots. Now, it's not exactly clear because they're very fast, so what I'll do is zoom in and slow it down so you can see what's happening. So now you can see we've got the little green circle in the centre that shows us where we're actually aiming. And when you fire, we get the full circle of white hit markers. As we can see from the wall, every pellet hit. But what that full circle means is more than 75% hit. When we fire the second shot, we only get one segment because only one pellet actually hit the target. On the second shot, we get two segments, and one of those is orange because one of the pellets hit him in the head. It is harder to see at normal speed without the magnification, but it's no harder to see than a normal hit marker, and it does provide you with much more information. And I think the small circle in the centre of the large hipfire reticle just makes sense. If that large circle isn't representing where your pellets are going, it just makes aiming harder. So those are my ideas. If we can't fix the randomness of shotguns, then at least with a HUD like this, you'd know what's going on and how much damage you're actually doing.